This is the morning sports desk for Thursday, September 14th. All right, Corey. Well, the Twins do lose yesterday. They lose 5.
Boo. They stink. Boo. Get them out of here.
See,
Boo.
you wouldn't believe it, Corey, how much I heard about how the season is over.
Yeah? Here, let me do this quick.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, there was a bit of an echo there. I was a little concerned. So you wouldn't believe how much that people yesterday over the Twins' 5-4 loss to Tampa Bay. The Twins were tied 4-4 in the ninth inning. Griffin Jacks came in. Some dude named Randy had a moonshot, and they were down 5-4. Twins had the tying run on second base, I believe. And Christian Vasquez, who, of course, has been having a down year at the plate, but for a catcher, he's been fine. Pinch hit for Ed Julian. Of course, that led to massive consternation because, of course, a lefty came into the game.
Massive what?
Consternation.
Define it for me, please.
Wailing, gnashing of teeth, if you will, complaining in a way. A lot of people were out there basically saying that the Twins should have let a lefty face a left-handed hitter face a lefty because Julian is overall a better hitter than Vasquez, but at the same time, Julian's a rookie. At the same time, why are we caring about this? The Twins lost to Tampa. Yeah, whatever. Cleveland also lost. So the Twins' magic number dips down to 9 to clinch the American League Central. It's part of that conversation we talked about yesterday, Corey. The Twins are going to do certain things over the next few weeks. And basically, this is Rocco Baldelli going, what if I just did this? Does this actually work? Like, what if I just put in Dylan Floro in the bottom of the ninth inning with the bases loaded and nobody out? Like, let's just see if this guy's got any cojones on him. Like, a lot of these next couple weeks are just going to be the Twins going a mix of like, let's rest guys, which is why Carlos Correa was like on a strict off day yesterday. Like, let's strategically rest a few of our guys to get healthy. And at the same time, let's try some guys out in different roles. Let's put some relievers who are typically low leverage into high leverage and see how they do. Let's bring up Christian Vasquez off the bench against a lefty to see if he can get a hit here. Let's see some of these guys. That when playoff time rolls around, Rocco has a better idea of kind of where everybody's at over the next couple weeks.
You know, it was a pretty clear night. I guess I did see the consternation. Big Dipper was out in full force.
Oh, yeah. Personally, I'm a Little Dipper fan. Maybe an Orion's Belt myself, but
the Orion's Belt is cool. That's like the first one. If it's not the Big Dipper, that's your first one. The Orion's Belt is certainly one of the easiest ones to spot.
Yeah,
and teach people. It's one of the first, right? It's the top 2 consternations you learn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You could, we are consternationists, if you will.
I don't have anything to add to that Twins conversation. That you nailed it right on the head. It's that they're going to win the division. They don't even have to win games to gain ground in the division. Like they're basically going to have to go 0 for their last 16 or however many games are left. And Cleveland's going to have to go 16-0. There's just no way it's not happening.
Cleveland has to finish, I believe it is 12-5 over their last 17 games or something like that, just to get back to 500. They're they're done. Cleveland's done. They're doing their best 2022 Twins impression of imploding in September, of not even bothering to make it competitive for your division rival. Remember that September? Everybody tuned out of the Twins by that time because the Vikings had a hot start. But the Twins are just losing ball games left and right. The Cleveland had a 5-1 lead yesterday. They lost in extras to the Giants. Twins legend Lamont Wade Jr. walked off the Giants on walked off the Guardians for the Giants on 2 different occasions. So glad to know that he's still doing his part for the Twins.
Yeah,
to this day.
It's weird. I don't want them to limp into this by any means, but I just respectfully to the Twins discourse that exists on social media, I don't care. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. They're going to the playoffs. So any decision from this point forward, as long as it's not directly impacting the health and safety of the very best players who might actually help you win a team or win a game in a playoff series. Do whatever you got to do, Rocco. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Especially on a nitpicky at bat by at bat or game by game. It's not important.
No, we got more important things going on tonight, like the Vikings, who play in Philadelphia. Every Vikings fan's favorite game.
Boy, we hate Philadelphia, don't we?
Boy, we sure do, because New Orleans has kind of fallen off. They've become irrelevant. Sean Payton's not there. Drew Brees isn't there anymore.
They haven't fallen off if you're a true believer in the Vikings. I still hate Atlanta. I still hate the Giants.
Do you still hate the Pittsburgh Steelers for beating the Vikings in Super Bowl 12?
I wasn't alive then, so I have less of an issue. But I can tell you the way I still hate some of the teams that I do. If I were around when the Pittsburgh thing happened, yes, I would still.
Do you still hate Drew Pearson with a fiery passion of 1,000 Suns?
What year did that happen?
78, something like that. 75.
Yeah, again, same thing as Pittsburgh. If I were around, I 100% would hold that against him and that entire team.
There's a lot of people who sports hate Drew Pearson in Minnesota who are older than us, who sports hate them like people nowadays sports hate Sean Payton. Like, that guy is just public enemy number one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't want bad things to happen to him personally. I need bad things to happen to him professionally.
So the Twins go to Philadelphia. The Vikings, go to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I think it's been 2 games since the 2017 NFC title game. The Vikings went to Philly in 2018. They won that game. Then the Vikings went to Philly last year and got the doors beaten in on them. So they're 1-1 in Philadelphia since the title game. Kirk Cousins plays fine in Philly over his career. Remember, he played for Washington before, so he's played there a lot. Kirk Cousins might actually die in this game, Corey, because Garrett Bradbury is out. Austin Schlottman is going to start. Looking at the Vikings injury report for the game, Christian Darrisaw is questionable, the Vikings stud left tackle. So that's not good either.
That's worse than Bradbury.
Yeah.
The interior of that offensive line was going to be a problem whether Bradbury was playing or not.
Uh-huh.
This is not an indictment on Schlottman at all.
Yeah.
That guy is.
He's a perfectly acceptable backup center.
He's probably fine, and Bradbury's fine. Darrisaw being out is a problem.
Yeah, he's questionable, although as I'm looking at the injury report on NFL.com right now, Darrisaw's name is not shown up, so that is a good sign.
Who's the left tackle? Oli Udoh?
It is, by the way.
That's a problem. So
you thought you were trying to be funny there.
Are Oli and Ed next to each other?
No, but we could really make some Ed and Oli and Udoh jokes, like the old Sven and Oli jokes.
Oh,
we'll just put it with those two.
Yeah.
Print the shirts.
Oli and we should. That's actually a brilliant idea. Gosh dang it. Those two guys suck.
What do you got against Sven and Oli?
No, this is not. I'm back to football. Sven and Oli are awesome. Oli and Ed stink.
Yeah, they're the ones that fell into the ice hole, and yeah.
Isn't Ed graded like? He's not the worst guard,
but he might as well be.
But he might he is. What was he like 74th out of 77 or something like that?
Yeah, according to Pro Football Focus's grading. Yeah.
Now let me get this. There's 32 teams in the NFL.
Uh-huh.
And they each have how many guards?
2. So
32 times 2 64. Is 64.
Minus some backups probably that got put into action throughout the game.
So to be clear, as a starter, he's worse than a dozen backups.
Yeah. No, the Vikings still have faith in him. They still have faith in him. He's going to go for week number 2 of trying to strip sack Kirk Cousins.
They better have faith in him. It's the only thing they got. There's certainly no evidence.
So there's our half-empty perspective on this game. Is Philadelphia is a good team. They're the defending NFC champions. It's their home opener, as you've mentioned before, Corey.
I think they're going to get creamed.
It's on Thursday Night Football, which Thursday Night Football games are always weird. Yeah, I mean, if I'm like gun to my head, do the Vikings win this game? I'm saying no. They're not winning. That's your glass half empty perspective, because Philadelphia is such a tough place to play. That Philadelphia interior defensive line with Jalen Carter, who is a number 7 overall draft pick or something like that.
Yep.
Very, very good player. He was very good in week 1. And the Vikings' interior offensive line, again, the tackles are fine. Darrisaw in week 1 owned a tough Tampa Bay pass rush. But again, they put all their forces in the middle because they know the Vikings' interior pass blocking stinks.
Yep.
And Kirk Cousins gets flustered with interior pass rush.
Every quarterback in the history of the planet doesn't like the pressure coming directly at him.
Directly at his teeth.
There's not a single quarterback ever who's like, I can deal with this. There's nothing you can do about it.
At least with a guy running at your side, you can like step up, you can run. Like a guy coming right at you, you have no choice but to go backwards.
There's maybe only one, and it's Michael Vick, who can only just run away. Like that guy wasn't gonna figure out how to make a throw. He was just gonna embarrass you with his feet. It's a problem.
Yeah. So what's our glass half full perspective, Corey?
Actually, I love that you asked this because to me, I see this game going 2 ways. Like the Vikings lose by 30. But there is, there's 2 options. One team wins or the other team wins. For the other team to win, being the Vikings this time, they're going to have to eke something out, and it's going to have to probably be ugly. Like it's going to have to be like a weird, I don't know. How do you get to 22 or something? Like it's going to have to be like a 22-18 game or like an 18-13, just something gross that doesn't make any sense. I don't know what the gambling numbers are on this, but I listened to recently
Vikings
a
are
podcast.
1 touchdown underdogs, so they're like 6.5 point underdogs.
They're 6.5 point underdogs. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they talked a little gambling. It was the Bill Simmons podcast. That guy, he loves to gamble, and he has people on his podcast who love to gamble. And they were both like, we're taking the Vikings plus 6.5 here. Now, that doesn't mean they're picking the Vikings to win. What it means is they think Philadelphia's kind of a mess right now, too. And it's an early season Thursday night game. Now it is their home opener. Off a Super Bowl, a loss. So they're going to come out raring to go on their home field, right? But they're kind of in a weird spot right now. They've got some injuries that are kind of detrimental to what they want to try to do to get back to the Super Bowl. They're gonna be pressing a little bit, probably. I don't think they're thrilled with how they played in the opening week. It's a short turnaround. There's just a lot of weird things. Thursday night football is typically weird. There is a world where the Vikings can win this game. Like when we're talking tomorrow, it's totally possible that we're talking about a weird Vikings victory. I think that's totally in play. I don't think it's going to happen. But
are there any Vikings victories that are non-weird over the last calendar year?
Oh yeah, I mean maybe not. Maybe not last year excluded. They can just win a normal football game, like a 28-21, just a good old fashioned. This is the final score. They didn't do that last year, and they might not do it this year, but it's in play. I do think a win is in play for them. And there's a world where this can be a close football game because it's an early season Thursday nighter that doesn't make nothing makes sense on Thursday night, Nothing
makes sense on Thursday night.
So what do you I mean, I'll boogie, but what do you think? Is there something in play for them, or is this just, are we going to turn it off at halftime and just be like, well, that was fun?
I think that's the turning it off at halftime is definitely in play. I think overall with the Vikings, I think really what it's going to come down to really is just that pass rush. If the Vikings can hold up, because if you look at the injury report for Philadelphia, Fletcher Cox, their defensive tackle, is questionable to play. There's also their defensive backs are hurt. They're banged up a little bit. So there is a lot at stake here for the Vikings because they're 0-1 right now, and they're in danger of becoming 0-2. Philadelphia is a little banged up. The Vikings are a little banged up. Can the Vikings take advantage of the secondary for Philadelphia being banged up? Because they're going to have to, with the Vikings offensive line being a little bit banged up and the Eagles pass rush still being as good as ever, even if their most noted pass rusher Fletcher Cox can't play. One last thing on the morning sports desk. I do want to let you know, tune in tomorrow morning as we are going to be doing our AD runaround with athletic directors across our listening area. Tomorrow, we are talking with Michael Wirtz of Monaga. He's going to join us on the morning sports desk tomorrow at 7:15. So be sure to tune into that. Or if you miss it, go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts to listen to the morning sports desk. You can also listen at WadenaRadio.com. This has been the morning sports desk for Thursday, September 14th. 7:32 on KWAD. Here's M&N News.
Minnesota News Network. I'm Brent Baum. Minnesota Senator